40 miles south of Atlanta, you'll find our town of Griffin. Located in the buckle of the Bible Belt, churches can easily be found today. All have a story and a starting point, as do we. In 1941, Franklin D. Roosevelt was serving his third term as President of the United States. He just so happened to visit and address the people of Griffin 2 years prior at what we now call the Welcome Center from his train. Population in Griffin at that time was 13,500. The U.S. would enter World War II at the end of that year.
A state of war has existed between the United States and the Japanese Empire.
But on January 30th, the Church of God was organized in Griffin. Here, in the mill area of Griffin known as Experiment, the first gathering of 18 people took place in the Kincaid School Auditorium at 7 p.m. One article in Griffin Daily News stated that event would forever change the face of Griffin, Georgia, and influence the lives of thousands. Reverend H.L. Whittington, who pastored the Hemphill Avenue Church of God in Atlanta, organized a church and opened services in the Bryant building of Experiment. Later, a piece of property was purchased on Powell Street, still in the mill area of Griffin. A tent was set up to hold services on this property. It was too cold at that time of year to be in a tent, so service continued in the Bryant building until there was a break in the weather. It wasn't long after that the leadership and members erected a small building on this Powell Street location. The people gathered on the property for services in the tent while the building was in construction. After a short period of time, that original building couldn't hold the growing number of people. A new sanctuary was added. These were the days of personal, face-to-face invitations, social, no media, if you will. Can you even imagine that? In the years 1956 to 66, Reverend and Mrs. Kellen Jeffords served as pastor. When first arriving, Reverend Jeffords announced to the congregation that a visitation team would cover all the mill villages on Thursday night. On the first night, only 4 people showed. The Jeffords were 2 of them. They were the only ones with an automobile, so Reverend Jeffords suggested the ladies would ride in the car while the 2 men walked door to door telling people about Jesus and the Powell Street Church of God. You know, the generation of gentlemen. These were the days of our choir, with its standard of excellence and continual overflow of gifted individuals, was established by Sister Jeffords around the year 1961. The choir traveled to Atlanta that year and performed on television. With her leadership and the help of Bernice Dunn organizing drama arts, the choir began to perform Easter pageants each year. Those Easter services would range in attendance from 900 to 1,100 people. These were the days of such excitement that even John Stanfield sang in the choir. No, that's not validated. Rumor only. But these were the days Tony Jones had long hair, and that is validated. The congregation continued to grow to the point the property on Powell Street couldn't hold additional expansion. A move was necessary. In 1973, property in East Griffin on High Falls Road was purchased and a brand new facility was built. The name became Central Lake Church of God. The ministry continued to prosper and the congregation continued to grow. 1975 was a great year for the church. Well, there is no specific record with significance in the church history. However, one day, specifically April 18th that year, was certainly significant. Just saying. 4 pastors would serve at Central Lake in the 70s and 80s. Mark Summers, Walter Pettit, Houston Odom, and Bobby Tatum. Pastor Tatum came to Central Lake from another mill town just south of Griffin, known as Thomaston. With an understanding of the culture, hard work mentality, and hands-on ministry with the congregation, Pastor Tatum would see the growth force yet another move to accommodate the people. In 1988, 25 acres of land was purchased on the corner of US 41 Bypass and Moose Lodge Road in South Griffin for $300,000. It would become Harvest Temple Church of God. Worship services would have over 500 people in attendance. Ministries continued to flourish, and a team of additional staff was certainly necessary. Under the leadership of Pastor Thomas Powell from 1995 to 2010, the church acquired its fourth name, Griffin Center Point Church, continuing to embrace its ongoing purpose to be a place of godly influence as a lighthouse to the community. Major theater productions, outreach, children and student ministries, discipleship and worship experiences would see thousands of people through those years enter the doors under Pastors Thomas Powell, Tracy Stone from 2010 to 2016, and with our lead pastor, Gary Taylor. Right now, right here. Years of existing, ministering, flourishing, and continuing with God, for God. Griffin Center Point Church, celebrating our heritage, focusing on our future.